Hi, everyone. My name is Cezar Williams, and I am the producing artistic director of the Fire This Time Festival. And it is my pleasure to welcome you to our Fireside Chat for season 17 playwright Mo Holmes, whose play Clumsy will be featured in the festival this January, January 23rd through January 31st at the world famous Apollo Theater. Mo, welcome to the Fireside Chat. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you.
We are so excited to have you in the festival. Your play Clumsy. Uh, I haven't been doing this, but I do want to say this at the top. I've been thinking a lot about your play. When I first became producing artistic director, we had your play is kind of more in line with that tradition. We would have plays that were beautifully written, thought provoking, um, but what the audience took away from the play really depended on the audience member themselves.
Mm,
You know,
mm,
they were just kind of, dare I say, plays that they could be viewed through an abstract lens if that was the person's perspective on it. And so I think the first thing I think would be very important for our audience, without giving too much away about the play, just tell us about your play, Clumsy.
I think I had described it as like a young man crashes into a woman's kitchen and then she tries to make him grits.
Yes.
And overall, the play is about forgiveness and that there are many kinds of clumsiness in life. There is the clumsiness that I think I was most experiencing as a person growing up, which is in the kitchen. I'm just not very good in the kitchen. Then I think there's like the bigger clumsiness of life where people crash into each other. People are dealing with their hardships through alcoholism, through these relationships that don't quite work out, and also through trying to be a good parent to someone that can sometimes be a clumsy experience. So I think I'm bringing like a lot of different ideas together on what it means to be forgiving with a clumsy person.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, it's a short, crazy setup, but I think that the resolution is very lovely, and is about the main woman's coming to terms with a kind of trying to give a kind of forgiveness that maybe she wasn't given around her own clumsiness or that she's never given before.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Was there any specific inspiration for you for writing this play?
Yeah, this actually happened to me
Oh my.
when I was a young person. When I was just 5 years old, I think, 4 or 5 years old, in the house that my family recently had moved into, a drunk driver crashed into our kitchen.
Mm.
Um, and it well, it was an experience that I feel like I talked a lot about as a kid, but not so much as an adult. I haven't thought about it in a long time.
No, that's very interesting. So, in many ways, the woman in the play is you.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. As a kind of avatar, I
Hmm.
guess, to put myself back in that situation as an adult. I hope that people also just like take away like thinking about what it means to forgive and to speak like some gentleness into this kind of crazy, clumsy world we live in.
Yeah, I love that. I do appreciate how your place in a very short period of time really focuses on how forgiveness is a choice.
Mhm.
And we can choose forgiveness in any situation. With any person. So I did love
Yeah.
that. I did love it. Thank you for sharing that. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in San Antonio, and my both my parents are from Alabama, so I also spent a lot of time there um, as a kid, and now they've really relocated there, and my brothers also moved there, so I've been spending a lot more time in Alabama these days. I feel very Southern. even though I spent a lot of time like living outside of the South at this point, but I feel I really embrace that part of my identity, and I spend um, as much time as I'm able to going back there. And it means a lot to me to still be connected to the South and be connected to my family.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like the South is the South, but San Antonio and Alabama, they're both Southern. But for people who don't
In
know,
very
they're
different ways.
very different ways. Another question about your childhood. What is your earliest theater memory?
Well, I started as a very at a very young age doing like pageants and dancing, but the first time I think I performed, I played a swan in a school play or school musical, I think, in elementary school. I can remember that really clearly, and I loved it so much. It was, I think, probably where I fell in love with doing theater. But I didn't really return to it until college, and that's when I started um, writing plays.
Okay. Where did you go
Yeah,
to school?
yeah. I went to Carleton College. It's in Northfield, Minnesota. I think this happens a lot for people who grow up in the South, where they feel like I just need to get away.
Yes.
I need to do the opposite of here for a little bit.
And you certainly did.
Yeah. So when I started writing, that was the voice that was always coming out. Was like the voice of my grandparents, the voice of my family. Um, and I think I was probably homesick now
Mm,
that I think of it. I was always interested in people and studying people. When I approach drama now, like I still feel this desire to be practical.
mhm.
Like I want my writing to do something, and if I can invite people to the theater to challenge them to take up some kind of action,
Yep.
that's a big part of my values. I think the world will have to change to see that art is of service, right? That it is an important service for children in education and for people to be connected to their humanity, and that we can also use it as a tool to inspire people to take up action.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Writing is fighting is I wish someone said, I forget who said it. Well, so here's a question. If you had a time machine and you could go back to young Mo playing the swan in elementary school, what would you tell Mo?
I think I always had a feeling of like I don't understand how all of this is going to add up. Like I don't feel like I'm ever doing the things that I want to do. I had a lot of responsibility as a young person. I took on what I feel is a lot of caretaking for my younger brothers. I didn't always feel like I got to do everything that I wanted to do. And I think that is part of like why I felt like such a need to go really far away. And I think if I could talk to myself as a younger person, I would say that all of that will add up. Like no matter what you're doing, even if it doesn't make sense now, that things are going to play out in a way that all of this will be valuable to you.
Yeah.
And will inform who you become as an adult. And so in that way, it's very special to have spent all of this time inside.
Are there any plays you're currently writing, any projects or productions that you are currently working on or plan to work on in the near future?
Well, a few weeks ago, I had um, a public presentation of a play called The Labyrinth, which is kind of a Appalachian retelling of the Greek myth of the Minotaur. So that was a really great process with Good Apples Collective. And on December 11th, I will have a public reading of my play as part of the Bushwick Star reading series. The play is called Amanda. It's a kind of adaptation um, about the character of Amanda Wingfield from Tennessee Williams' A Glass Menagerie, and thinking about Southern girlhood, like all of the ways that Black Southern girls are receiving lessons to become a mother like Amanda Wingfield, I guess. So yeah, there's a lot of fun and playfulness, and darkness in that play. I'm really excited to present it. I've been working on it for a long time, even before I started grad school. So it feels like a big step to finally present that publicly.
Yeah.
And then the Fire This Time Festival. So I feel like it, I've had all these little steps, and I know they're gonna really fuel me into my final spring semester, and presenting my thesis. And I feel like a good way to know me as a playwright will be this year of work that I've accomplished.
Well, if folks wanted to connect with you or track what you're doing, or just what would be the best way for them to do that?
I'm on Instagram.
Instagram is great. Instagram
Yeah,
is, don't sleep on Instagram. That's the number one way I keep track of folks.
yeah. So you can currently very casually keep track of me there. I don't post a ton, but I do post about the presentations that I have. But really, the best way to get to know me would be through New Play Exchange right now.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Mo, for joining us on the Fireside Chat. And I want to thank everyone who took the time out of their day to tune in. Just a friendly reminder, please get your tickets to the Fire This Time Festival Season 17. We will be at the Apollo Theater this year, January 23rd through January 31st. And we hope to see you there. Thank you again, Mo. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.